Now we are on Frank Warren _TV's Twitter account. We're going to watch this little Billy Joel Sanders fight in less than 30 seconds. What the heck? This guy, they were ranting and raving about him on the JRE. Him and Brendan Schaub. I don't know if he's with Showtime. What's that? BT Sports under there is who's promoting this. That might be Showtime or HBO, not sure. This guy's fighting soon, though. They were hyping him up. What else do they say? The promo that they're playing is Joe Rogan, the very beginning of it. Let's check this out.
Martin Murray, British champion. Oh, good shot, good left hand. And Fletcher's wobbled. He's in trouble.
Or wait, did I go black too far? Anyways, we're getting off base real quick with some boxing, just because I saw this promo. Here it is. Let's see if we can get this to play.
It was a boxing masterclass.
Looking for the finish.
Holy fuck,
Now, man, this is revolutionary. This is 2018.
One of the outstanding performances.
Boxing promos are starting off with Joe Rogan, MMA shows.
It's going to be a bit of a war, to be honest.
He might be a beat Triple G.
The last now fighters should be punching fresh air.
Masterclass.
I'm fit now, I'm skillful.
Around the world, which is pretty crazy.
No one wants to fight Billy Joe Saunders.
Brendan
New fight
Schaub.
now is beyond me. It's about hard work.
And the focus Billy Joe Saunders is a very dangerous fight. Now or never.
Got a tough opponent, Martin Murray. But this for him is a last roll of the dice.
And a desperate man at the end, this man.
I'm going to show you who the beat in 140.
But
Right in
April
his mouth.
14th for the WBO middleweight championship. Hold up, BT Sport is all it says. We'll do more research and figure out the answer to that question as far as how we can tune in. I'm pretty stoked. Comcast hooked me up since they messed up my internet for so long with free Showtime for 3 months. That'll hold me over for a bit. Let's move on, though. Away from boxing to the next subject. Who is going to be watching Bellator Friday night? Matt Mitrione versus Roy Nelson coming up. Heather Hardy. Anna Juliton. She was on the MMAjunkie radio. Made a guest appearance in studio. Leah McGeary taking on Vadim Nemkov. Another fight. And then also that night is Titan 48 with Shorty Torres. It's going to be headlining that event. But check out Heather Harden. Heather Harden, big old controversy. She had her clothes on, was 0.25 of a pound over. They wouldn't let her take her clothes off. They didn't even know that it happened until later. Just let her know that, hey, 20% of your purse is gone. She took it in stride and just said, whatever. I'm not going to get worried about no petty bullshit. I'm here to fight and whoop ass, and that's what we're going to do tomorrow night live on the Paramount Network. Unless you're on the West Coast, and that might not be live. Just so you know. Boom. But we got Yancy Medeiros fighting on Cowboy Cerrone coming up Sunday. Who the hell isn't excited for this? A 6-fight main card. That's going to be bananas. 4 fights on FS1. 2 on Fight Pass. Berkman, Morano, Williams, the other one, Pichkota. I can't even pronounce these guys. Who are these guys? We'll be tuning in on Fight Pass. I'll be hanging out, watching out on Fight Pass and chill. So tune in with me. We'll probably watch all 6 of these ones and then let Fight Buddies take over. But who you guys picking, man? Cowboy coming off of 3 losses in a row. Taking on Yancy Medeiros, 3 wins in a row. The Hawaiian versus the Texan. Just kidding. He lives in New Mexico. Close enough for these folks, though, since he's a cowboy. Derek Lewis versus Marcin Tybura as your co-main event. That's going to be bananas. If Lewis can get past Tybura, he wants Francis Ngannou. He's been calling him out. I am not against that fight whatsoever. James Vick and Trinaldo, man, Vick has called out everybody. He can't get a fight, a big fight. If he cut his leg off, dropped to 145, no one would face him, I bet. But Francis Trinaldo stepped up. Sean Shelby's like, this Brazilian fight anybody. He don't care. And so he can potentially move up one ranking spot in the 55-pound division. Hopefully next he'll get a shot. And he's like 8-1 in the UFC, 12-1 overall. Massive record on James Vick. Thiago Alves versus Curtis Millender. Curtis Millender, 2-2 in Bellator, coming over, winning 6 in a row on the 6 in a row win streak, I believe, from LFA and other various promotions. I think a fight fell out because this wasn't on the main card. And then Northcutt Gowdy. What? There was a chick fight on here, wasn't there? I don't know. That's what we got now, though. And then this is on FS1. Cowboy, Medeiros, Derek Lewis, probably the social media king. No one's doing it better than him. Sage Northcutt, all these guys, whether I like it or not. And this is your UFC on Fox card. That's a little outrageous. And this is your first February UFC on Fox card. Are they just doing this to meet their quota in terms of what Fox had to do for the broadcast? Is that what they're doing? Or what do you guys think? You guys ain't chatting. So F you guys. We'll let Chrome take over priority in the stream. Here we go. Anyhow, after that, Kuntsakaya versus Cyborg. Yannick Kuntsakaya, 10-3. Versus the, what is it now, 18 or 19-0 Cyborg at featherweight. Kuntsakaya, great record at bantamweight and featherweight. And was recommended actually by the California State Athletic Commission to move up because she was cutting so much weight after her Invicta appearance in California. But back to what's really happening. Billy Joe Saunders, we checked that out. Bellator 194 coming up. Submission Radio is happening. Tune into that with Curtis Blades. UFC has signed Invicta flyweight champion Jennifer Maia. If you guys tuned into, what was it, number 26, we saw Maia take on Anna Niedzwiecz from Poland, the 125er, who's definitely going to be on her way very shortly to the UFC. Jennifer Maia came away with the W, walked in champion, walked out champion, or someone had vacated, whatever the fuck. She's champ now in Invicta. She's coming over to the UFC. Who do you guys think is going to be her opponent? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the chat to the side. Justice popping in. I'm tired as fuck. I'm going to listen while I go to Betty Bye. Won't chat, but I'm all ears. Awesome. Well, we're just discussing how the UFC just signed the Invicta flyweight champion, Jennifer Maia. And we might as well look this girl up, let you know what her record is coming in. Jennifer. Man, I can't spell tonight. Go to Tapology for this one. Jennifer Maia. And also, if you guys want, hang out with me, fight TV and chill. That's going to be tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. ACB 80 starts. It's totally free. You can put it on your computer at work, whatever you want. Put the headphones in, hang out, listen to it, listen to me, do your quote-unquote work, yada yada. Jennifer Maya, this girl's 15, 4-1. What have you done for me lately? Holy smokes. Okay, she lost to Deanna Bennett when she was 9-3. Dropped to 9-4. That was Invicta. Got 3 wins outside of the promotion in Brazil. Came in Invicta 6 Invictas later. Beats up Vanessa Porto in a 5-round main event for the interim title. Goes back to Brazil for a Muay Thai fight. Back to Invicta for a title defense against Roxanne Modafferi in a 5-round split decision. I believe I had her in that fight, but maybe Roxanne put up a hell of a fight. That was a great match, is what I remember. And then most recently, Invicta FC 26, Maya versus Niedowitz. She took out the Polish prospect that was 10-0 in a 5-round unanimous decision. No controversy really there in terms of that fight. She was definitely offered a fight for UFC Bellum in Brazil, that card that just happened, against Valentina Bullet Shevchenko. And it was too close to her last event. She last fought December 8th. It was about 60-something days out, and it was just too close to her. I don't know if she had injuries or what. We all know what happened. Bullet took on a nobody. Ended up beating her almost to death. No, beating the holy living shit out of her, though. And we didn't need to see that, but man, as you can see, go up and down the division and see what fighters turned that fight down. So whose fault really was that? Who knows? Let's move on. What else we got? Donald Cowboy Cerrone did an interview with John Morgan, and he asked him, why are you doing this? Why do you love to fight? Posted to Twitter. Let's see if we can track it down. Took a little snippet of it, about a minute 30. I think it's definitely worth watching. Got me excited for this upcoming bout. Man, did it not get posted? Son of a bitch. Okay. Can we watch it on here? Alright, we might just have to post it real quick without any words. Great audio, visuals going on right now. The ultimate guy that plans ahead completely. We're eating on air.
Fun, and this is what I love, man. I love fighting.
I love fighting. There's a little snippet for you. Cowboy Cerrone. Let's give some props to the creators. Always. Oh, and let's do a little... Throwing a hashtag, because why the fuck not, right, guys? See if we can get that tweet to work. Or it's the wrong format. What are they going to say? Chilling there at 0%. We might have to just play that live. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're moving. We're rocking and rolling. Pop, 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 pop. All right, what else, man? Medeiros versus Cerrone. Who are you guys picking? The 3-fight winning streak and the 3-fight losing streak? It's pretty interesting. I won't lie, as far as everything goes. Lewis versus Tybura. Lewis is going to want to bang. Tybura is going to want to wrestle the fuck him. That's going to be interesting. ACB 80 tomorrow morning. Burrell versus Tumanov. Who the hell are those guys? Okay. Tumanov, Albert Tumanov. Einstein, as they called him. 18-4. Welterweight division. UFC let him go. He's just way more valuable over there in Russia. So, here we see him. We'll see him all over the place probably, you know, M1, ACB, KSW. All those guys are super healthy over there. So I'd love to see what's going on with the MMA sphere as far as that goes. But let's update this. What up, Frank? Frank, we're about to watch the snippet of the Cowboy Cerrone interview that he did with MMAjunkie. Let's try not to miss too much of it. But check at him. He rode into town on his Harley. Just fucking kicking it. Oh, shit.
I couldn't even explain it to you, but from right now,
he said, I love
can't
fighting.
Sleep at night, eating's hard, make the weight, half the battle's over, fight day, fuck, all your friends like, you're going to kill him. No, bitch, I got to go in there and fight. Like, it doesn't just go like that. Scared? Well, let's go. Pack your shit, we're in the arena. All your teammates are fighting, your coach is there. It's crazy, it's scary. You go throw up in the bathroom. I do anyways. Then you're standing, you walk down the hall, and fucking lights in your face just like this. Now you're live on TV,
everyone wants
tunnel, and you're like,
backstage
holy
access
shit,
like this.
6 weeks, and it's here, and it's now. And I've been on the edge of a plane about to jump out. I've been on top of mountains, and nothing puts that fucking hair on the back of my neck feeling like walking in that fucking octagon, and they shut that door, and you're like, well, there's only 2 ways this can go, right? In or out. And come Sunday, man, like I said, I've won in my mind. Everything I've done is here. Man, the old WC kicking ass Cowboys back, and I feel it, and I'm hungry again.
The old Cowboy.
And I'm looking for that feeling, man. I can't wait for it. I can't wait to stand in that octagon and stare across and see Yancey and think, oh, you poor son of a bitch, you're the one who drew bad, and go out there
like
and
it's
do it.
bad cards.
That's awesome, man. I mean, can you talk about what changes it took? Because you've always, you know...
Oh, man. That was good shit. Good shit. Go watch the full interview. MMAjunkie John Morgan. MMAjunkie. You can find that shit. I'll put it in the description after this is posted. The full video. Let's bring this chat back up, though. We got... Oh, let's leave the frame. We got Frank chiming in. Yo, Dano, looks like a tired fighter. Reminds me of Diego Sanchez. Man, I freaking hope not. Coming from the same camp, but I'm a huge Cowboy fan. I hope he's not completely shop-worn. Looks like he's trying to convince himself he's a badass. Yeah, he is. He did shit he's never done, though, like watching fight footage and whatnot. There's some fights where they did something in back and they like warmed him up really well to where he got rid of that, you know, slow starting thing and did pretty well. I think those were like the 2 fights at welterweight when he first came over. He felt that way, and he explains in this interview about how he just felt so confident when he came into welterweight, and somehow that faded. As he moves up the ranks, it fades. He sees a killer, and yeah. Frank says Cowboy 5 years ago, maybe not in 2018. Yeah, is he gonna turn in like the Mark Hunt that can just main event and draw eyeballs, but never really reach that title champion? That's kind of what I see Mark as. Mark's fading from that role even, but that's what he was at one point in time. You know, got to Werdum and failed, got to JDS and failed, over and over. Well, that's a Cowboy highlight we definitely had to check out. ACB 80, Tumanov versus Burrell coming up. That's going to be live and free on Fight.tv. And we also have Bellator 1 what the hell was it? 84? 194? 194 in 23 hours. Matt Mitrione, Roy Nelson, that Heather Hardy chick, boxer, taking on some other chick. Anna, I saw her on MMAjunkie. Let's go to more info at the Mohegan Sun here. Some controversy with Heather Harden weigh in 0.25 pounds over. They wouldn't let her take off any clothing. Didn't let her know at the time that she was going to be fined 20% of her purse. That all did happen, though. She was quoted saying, I'm not going to get petty about just a little bit of money. Let's just, forget about it, because fuck all that bullshit. But we got tomorrow live on the Paramount Network. Unless you're on the West Coast without DirecTV, then it's probably not live. Roy Nelson, Matt Mitrione in the heavyweight Grand Prix first round. This is the second match that has happened. Chael Sonnen defeated Rampage to succeed to the next round. Whatever the hell the word is. What else do we have? Patricky Pitbull, Derek Campos at 155. Liam Aguirre versus Vadim Nemkov coming out of Russia. 6 inches height difference is what we saw at the stare downs. Heather Harding versus Anna Juliton. 1-1 versus 2-3. Taiwan Claxton versus Jose Antonio Perez. All right, now we're getting into some nonsense. That's the Bellator card, though, on the Paramount Network. Also on Fight Pass is going to be Titan. Let's see if we can pull up that event. Titan 48, I think, is what it is. 48. Tapology. Boom. This will be coming up Friday as well. Shorty Torres is going to be defending his 125-pound belt, I believe is what's happening. Boom, 6-0, Jose Torres. Alberto Orlando, 6-2. Also have the 155-pound belt getting put online and the welterweight belt all on the same night. LFA 48, Titan 48 live on Fight Pass. That's definitely going to be worth a watch. I'll be doing Fight.tv and chill Friday morning or early afternoon for you East Coasters. And then later on for Titan, I believe I'll be doing a Fight Pass and chill as well. Saturday, maybe EBI. Nope. Unless I'm working. I'll be off around 5 or 6. And then Sunday, definitely for the Fight Pass prelims and FS1 prelims most likely as well. I just actually upgraded my Fight Pass, so they think I'm streaming out of France. So we will have the walkouts, no commercials. This is going to be glorious. Super stoked for all this nonsense. What other topics did I miss that you guys want to touch on? What the hell happened this week? Why don't we pull up MMAjunkie or Flow Combat? Look at the latest articles. I got a quote here from Cowboy Cerrone. Losing 3 in a row? What the fuck is that? No, I want to win. That's what he says, man. What do you think, Frank? Frank thinks he's done, is what he thinks. Oh, we got all that nonsense with Mayweather, McGregor going back and forth, Nate Diaz coming on Instagram, just giving him the TKO and that whole back and forth. That was hilarious. Now people are talking about freaking Joe Rogan did it. CM Punk versus Mayweather. Celebrity deathmatch style shit is what we got going on, I guess. Josh Emmett ready to find out who hits harder, versus Jeremy Stevens. How many of you caught Jeremy Little Heathen Stevens on Undisputed, that FS1 show? Schooling the ESPN guys on what the MMA guys can do. That was pretty cool. What else we got? Frankie Edgar may take another fight before Max Holloway. Say what? No way. I'm going to have to go back and read that. Report to you tomorrow morning. As far as that goes. AKA coaches, Habib versus Ferguson is for the real belt. I 100% agree. Why in the hell wouldn't it be for the real belt? Now, fastest way there is let's pull up a fighter in the lightweight division. Pull up his ranking, got Tapology. Is he ranked high enough even? Uh-oh. Alright. A little bit more difficult. Let's just go Cerrone. Frank's just laughing over here. Oh, they got him at welterweight. That's right. Bad pick. But to prove the point, let's just get this shit over with. Anyhow, at lightweight, man, what is Connor's record at lightweight? He's 1-0. We got a Tony Ferguson who's like 15-1 or whatever the hell. He's got a massive record. You got a Habib that's I think 9-0 at the lightweight division in the UFC, and then old lonely Conor McGregor is sitting there at 1-0, and a lot of sites still have him as the number one best lightweight. Tapology is not the case. They know, they can recognize real when they see it. They got Tony Ferguson, 23-3, number one lightweight in the world. Look at his last 7 fights. He hasn't lost. Habib Nurmagomedov, 25-0. Look at his last 7. 25. He hasn't lost. Eddie Alvarez, look at his last 7. There's some blemishes there. He's the underground king, though. Edson Barbosa, Habib, darn near killed him. It's not the 1-0 record, Dan. It's the way one was won. Oh, so he's talking about how he took out the underground king. So, I get that with Jose Aldo in the 13 seconds. But in my mind, Eddie had gotten kind of lucky versus Gilbert Melendez and didn't even win versus Cowboy, who's on a 3-fight losing streak. So what guy are we talking about? And then beat up a Justin Gaethje, who we haven't seen truly tested in there yet. He will be. Ferguson record deceased, though. A few of those fights he was losing got a win. Habib was never been in trouble. Yeah, especially they said in practice, Habib's never been in trouble. Never even been in trouble in practice, which is nuts. But let's do that. Let's take a look here at T. Ferg's record. Blow it up for you guys. Because I 100% agree. He was not really in any trouble in this Kevin Lee fight, though. So he gets a pass there. He went down to Mexico. Was that Mexico City in Elevation? When he just whooped the dog piss out of RDA? That was some intense shit. But versus Lando Venata on short notice because he was supposed to be taking on Mike Chiesa. You got Lando Venata, who came in and whipped his ass for 4 minutes out of the first round, 3 minutes, whatever it was. Got the finish over Edson Barbosa. I remember that being a super close fight. Very awesome. If you got Fight Pass, go back and watch this one. One of my favorite fights to go back and just watch Brian Stan enjoy the job that he's doing at the time. Because that's, I don't know, I miss Brian Stan, and so going back and watching that fight that's a fun to do if you got some time. versus Josh Thompson. He got a unanimous decision. Gleason Tebow. Danny Castillo fight maybe. Another wrestler, the wrestling coach at Team Alpha Male / head coach. That got demoted, whatever. Yeah, and then lost to Michael Johnson way back at UFC on Fox 3. That was his one blemish after coming in and winning the Ultimate Fighter Season 13, which was 3 exhibition bouts to get into the finals, and he beat up Ramsey Nijum. Back on here, Brian blocked me. I used to call him the Tusher Stan. Stop touching the toucher. Brian the Toucher Stan. Why did I say Tusher? Are you talking about like the shoulder thing? Where they always got to grab their shoulder when they interview them, or their side or something? Brian the Toucher. Tell me more about that. That's some funny shit. But, okay. He came in, beat up Eve Edwards. They gave Michael Johnson. He didn't handle the test. And then they softballed him. A bunch of him being the favorite. 4 in a row. 5 in a row, Gleason Tebow. 6 in a row, Josh Thompson. 7 in a row, Barbosa. 8 in a row, Venata. RDA. His real true test in such a long run. Edson, RDA, all these guys since here are legit as fuck. Super exciting though. The scrambles, not afraid to go to the ground for a second. What's up, everybody? Caden. We're just chatting little MMA. Getting caught up on who the hell mentioned this bullshit? Oh yeah, Flow Combat. AKA's coach says Habib versus Ferguson is for the real belt. And I agree. Frankie Edgar may take another fight before Max Holloway. What is this all about? I was just like, damn, I can't catch a break. What about 218 when you had to pull out and Max had to take on Jose Aldo again, even though he just beat him. So let's slow the roll there as far as that goes. I got a new opponent. I'm happy and I'm focused. Oh, he's just trying to say that, I can move on without Max. It's all good. I just want to fight. So the gist that I get out of this is he does not got a lot of time left in the sport. And if Max is ready to go fairly quickly, then yeah. If he's still not ready to go, I might jump in there again. Who knows? So we had to go all the way to the end to skim to find that bullshit. Oh, well, exercise always first, man. You can always skim back once this is over and find out what the hell is going on. And what is this nonsense? Can you see that yellow line? Or is that only me? Okay. But if you're just now tuning in, we found out that Jennifer Maia is going to be 15-4 Jennifer Maia. Invicta flyweight champion has signed a contract with the UFC via Guilherme Cruz in MMA fighting. We don't have an opponent. We don't have a date or anything like that. She was offered Bullet Shevchenko in Bellum and declined it. But that's an update that we got right there. Frank says Max might come back and move up weight. He looked bad in his last weight cut, man. And he's been getting shit done. And Max, I love his body work. That kid's boxing and his ability to learn and his belief in himself. Some of the intangibles, they talk about. Max has got all of that shit. So that's going to be exciting to fight no matter where he's at. Yep. Frankie, easily the best inside fighter in the UFC. His inside game up to par with John Jones. On par. I love me some Frankie Edgar too. You guys remember that interview with Nate Diaz post UFC 196 with Dominic Cruz, Frankie Edgar, Jay Glazer, Nate Diaz, and I don't know if there's anybody else. But they were just all giving praise to Nate, and he's talking about, if MMA was a mountain and it was just a race to the top, who would be there, that him and his brother would be there first, or he would get up to the top and his brother would probably be there waiting for him. He's like, oh yeah, these motherfuckers can move too. And he was talking about Frankie and Dom, how they're badass. And yeah, look at, Frankie Edgar, if he could get a belt at 145, he could legitimately, or could have a year or two ago, who knows, drop to bantamweight to maybe get a belt. Because that motherfucker is training with dudes like Zabit, Magomedov, and these other massive 145ers. And he's like, Jesus, I think I belong down a weight class. Dropping into the chat. Oh, man, Jesus. But yes, Cerrone, watched a video of him, his interview with John Morgan. That's definitely worth checking out. He talks about his mentality before a fight. We got Nelson versus Matt Mitrione coming up. Both of these guys are previous UFC fighters. Matt Mitrione actually had 17 fights, or however many the hell, was all in the UFC. He was like 0-0 UFC fighter, every single one of them. So don't let his record deceive you. Frankie, over 3 rounds, is not getting beaten. But this one is only 3, correct? UFC 222, they're the co-main event. It's not a title fight. They haven't worked it into being 5. Only Ana Kuntakaya and Cyborg is 5 at this moment in time. Oh, boys. Okay. Edgar versus Ortega. How do we figure out how many rounds it is? We can assume 3. But decently packed pay-per-view card. Better than UFC 221, in my opinion. There was definitely the local Australian card that was geared up for them. Because look at your Mackenzie Dern is in your FS1 main event. Dotson versus Munoz got moved to this card. And that means on the early Fight Pass prelims, come hang out with me on Fight Pass and chill. Mike Pyle is going to be fighting. Brian Caraway is going to be fighting. Those are some can't miss them fights as far as I'm considered. And then CB Dalloway versus Hector Lombard is kicking off your FS1. Man, what a career for Lombard, right? Coming over from Bellator, supposed to be kind of that it motherfucker. Let's check out the chat. I think Matt's going to win the whole tournament. Matt Mitrione is going to win the whole Bellator tournament. I think there's pretty good odds on that. Caden. Yancey is in for a rude awakening. Yancey looked fat to me. What is he doing at 170? There should be a 165-pound weight class for these guys because Yancey had the, and I got one as well, but the muffin top going, dude. Bad last time in Brazil. You guys all saw it. Versus what's his name down there? CB Dalloway. He has one of a trio of top contenders. Him, Bader, and Kane. What are we talking about? Ortega is so doomed in the Frankie Edgar fight. I mean, is he... We know he's got good jiu-jitsu. Frankie Edgar is one of the best, most well-rounded guys in the UFC, and he can put on a pace that's insane. And if you're like me, you got a picture that the co-main event painted in your head of old man Frankie just with his spectacles sitting in the chair with his book reading and shit. Anyhow, what the hell else is going on? UFC 222. That's going to be exciting. What other topics haven't we covered in the last couple days? That was Flow Combat. Why don't we go check out MMAjunkie, their latest articles. I was looking before the show. Heather Hardy versus Anna Juliton. Matt Mitrione was puzzled by the Nelson pairing at first because he thought they were going to be two of the best fighters in the whole goddamn heavyweight Grand Prix tournament. This tournament is exciting to me. I love tournaments in MMA. I wish it had quality like the Strikeforce tournament did, but unfortunately we got what we got. But man, it's a goddamn tournament. How can you not be excited for that shit? These guys aren't cutting weight, so who cares how quickly they're getting in there? You know, depending on damage taken in fights and whatnot. Heather Hardy, how old are you? 37? She's definitely got the saggy boob going on right here. Came in MMA, though, because there is no money. What up, Kinshiraru? Brother Ken? Brother Frank? Brother Caden? Bellator's Grand Prix is more like Battle Royale at the old seniors home. Goddamn. Plus Ryan Bader, right? And is King Mo? King Mo's younger than we think he is. But what else? We got Tumanov taking on... Oh, whatever the hell that guy's name is. At ACB 80. 10 a.m. Pacific time. 1 p.m. tomorrow. Fight.tv and chill. Very simple. Let's go to Fight.tv. Boom. Oh, yeah. And then KSW 42. Guys, we're going to have a packed March 3rd. March 3rd is going to be UFC 222. Cyborg versus Kunsakaya. Ortega versus Edgar. It's going to be great. Earlier that day, you got Magomov, this 185er, whatever, Kalahead, whatever the fuck his name is, and Ariane Lipsky is supposedly fighting that night as well. Right here, Mamed Kalvidov, who just took on a super fight with the welterweight champion and won, is now going to do a super fight with the light heavyweight pound champion. And we'll see what he's got. He's taking on a guy 9 years younger, though. So that's going to be interesting. If you guys don't pay attention to KSW, these guys are killing it over in Poland. They rock the house much better than UFC's been doing going over there. They did a Coliseum show, which is one of the top 5 events ever. And right up there with UFC 193. I forget which one actually had the most out of that one, but super close in terms of what's going on. He's in a heavyweight Bellator, Ken. Oh yeah, heavyweight just sucks all around. Bellator building the heavyweight that sells. Man, Bellator lost their undefeated heavyweight though, Vitaly Minakov, whose fights for used to be Eurasian Fight Nights, which was on Fight Pass, which was weird, but is now Fight Nights Global. And they got their own network. You got to go to fightglobal.net or some shit to find their pay-per-view. Fight Global warming. Fightglobal.net. Fights Global. Oh, I don't even know. Good tangent here. Well, on shit. Whatever the fuck. Anyhow. Michael Martella, this was the guy that the UFC thought they were going to sign and get to headline that Poland event. They had to get Cowboy Cerrone to take on Till on short notice. He was supposed to come in and get signed, and KSW kept him. That's the power of these other organizations right now. Bibiano Fernandez, the Flash. You guys know who that is over in 1FC, the bantamweight champ. This guy's got an amazing record. We should have seen him maybe in the UFC. He was offered contracts by the UFC when he most recently had his free agency little period, or a time when he could go shop around, and he eventually signed with 1FC and Matt Hume. I don't know if they're treating him better over there. He's just a star, and he's just worth more to that company, but he got signed by 1FC over the UFC. Marco Martella got signed by KSW over the UFC. It's just a lot of these guys are way more valuable over there to those companies at this point in time. And, it's just, we're at a pretty good time to be an MMA fighter in terms of the supply and demand. There's a lot of demand for MMA. Frank says, no value in UFC promoting other companies. Russians turning out lots of MMA fighters. Yes, they are. Chechnya, Russia, Ukraine, all over the place, man. I see all their flags. Come to the UFC, and they treat you like they did DJ. Oh, so yeah, if you're Bibiano Fernandez and you're the GOAT, what if you're not gonna be a draw for the UFC? How are they really gonna help you? Matt Hume, I love what he's been doing with those guys. I think it was what card? They were getting ready for Wilson Hayes that they brought in Bibiano to really help him working on his jiu-jitsu and everything. I'm talking about DJ, by the way. Well, that's KSW 42. We're jumping way ahead. Anyways, that's going to be happening the same night as UFC 222. So come hang out with me, Fight.tv, and chill if you're willing to pay that money. And then we'll watch this one. We'll stream it legally, whatever the hell we're going to do. Guys, I don't know if you know about this, but this guy right over here might be the best thing to happen to Fight Pass users. This little guy named Ola. Ola.org. Go look it up on your own. A VPN that's free. I'm able to go on there, tell Fight Pass, I'm in France. It's my subscription. I'm paying my money per month. All that bullshit. I tell them I'm in France. And I'm watching Fight Pass. I'm watching the FS1. I'm watching the prelim card. And I'm watching the pay-per-view. All under my normal Fight Pass subscription. I'm going to be watching all the walkouts during all the commercials. Ain't going to get any commercials doing it this way. This is going to be groundbreaking, guys. This is groundbreaking shit right here, which came at a perfect time because we're lowering my girlfriend's Comcast. I've been using her email to log in to FS1 using Fox Sports Go, but the delay sucks. So I'll still be rocking the Fight Pass delay, and maybe even more with the VPN, but this shit's going to be glorious. No more paying for pay-per-views. Do you pay for Fight Pass? Yes. Okay. I'm in France. I'm vacationing in France. Fuck that shit. We're watching all that shit, man. I could go back right now, watch Romero versus Rockhold. I can go watch that right now. It shows more about American media. Laugh out loud. You American can't watch the full UFC card. Welcome to the free world, Dan. Right? Freedom. All about freedom over here, brother. They're getting 100 a year from me. They're getting 100 a year, at least. How much it's expensive to be a UFC fan, man. I live in Russia. Everything is free here, right? That's why I hear about them trying to make these TV deals all the goddamn time. And they send people in there to go make a TV deal in Russia, and they don't come up with nothing because Ain't no one paying for nothing. Everyone's got Cody and everyone's streaming it, and they're just smart individuals who are going to get around the system and spend that money on fucking well-spent shit like vodka and whatnot. Fuck that shit. Anyhow, what fight are you guys looking forward to this weekend? ACB coming up, Titan coming up, Bellator coming up. Throw an EBI match at me if you want. Then UFC in Austin. It's going to be the one that kicks it off. Cerrone Medeiros, Luis Tybura, Vic Trinaldo. Who you guys picking? I got a free deal with Russia. I watch all them pussies for free. That's right, man. Well, if it was free via antenna, I think it could really pick up in the States. You know, when we only do 4 or 5 of those cards a year. Coming up next weekend, though, is a double-length one in February, which is going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. Because they don't normally do this February card this weekend after. But which card's stronger? Like, it's I don't know what the UFC's doing. It's crazy to look at and see what they're doing. See what they think is a Fight Pass grade. What's an FS1 grade? What's a Fox grade card? And what's a pay-per-view grade? Because, Jesus. This Orlando card. Just look at it. Go to the home screen. It's the best way to look at it. Usually. Easily click back and forth. I got Russian antenna through my spaceship. Found out my backyard 1995. Goddamn, Ken. You lucky bastard. Because look at, then you got Emmett versus Stevens. Who's got better name value to go on Fox? Cerrone versus Medeiros or Emmett versus Stevens? Fight nights over pay-per-view, says M. Ailes. Right? What the fuck's going on here, man? Dude, they're giving you 8 fights on Fox, which is nuts. But who are these guys? Where's the name value here for the casual fans? Who's going to come in and watch this? And, oh, shit. Everyone remember when OSP called out Lavir Latifi once he beat up, what's his name? You guys remember that? He called out Lavir and then it got pushed back. Oh, now it's on Fox. That's going to be great. Fucking OSP. No, man. People aren't stoked for that shit. They're trying to build up the featherweight division, is what it looks like. Jeremy Stevens is the company guy. He's had more fights in the UFC than almost anybody. And they got no one to pull up to fucking main event a Fox card. There's no Diaz or anyone like that. And this is fucking what we're left with, so... Who else? There's no Musasis. There's no McDonald's to do headline something like this. I throw around that name too much. I'll try and be diverse. But that's what we're looking forward to there. And it's crazy. You put all this together and we can make a good pay-per-view. You know? I don't know if it's a $65 pay-per-view, but we'll build you a decent one. We'll give Fox something good, but the way they build it now is fucking insane. Like, you might as well tune in for an hour and a half of fights from about here on. Curtis Melinder and Alves on. That's worth watching. Boom. Stevens, like Perry, overhand is all he's got. So Perry and Stevens are one-dimensional. But Stevens has got that leg kick, man. We saw what he was able to do to Gilbert Melendez. Giblert. Got to give our props to Reebok there, right? And that's what the fuck we got to look forward to, guys. But not only that, man. Tune in with me for ACB 80 tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Let's see if we can get this promo to play. Cinema mode. Oh, let's open that up on YouTube. Hang in with me here for a second. By the way, Titan FC 48 on Fight Pass Friday night.
Battle, especially if it gets to the ground. Kokova, submission expert,
basically same time that Bellator's happening.
Wins, 5 of them by rear naked choke.
Oh snap! Let's see if we can start that back. And this is gonna take us out of here, folks. By the way, guys, this is fair use. We're just having fun, educating ourselves on what's happening, and what's happening is tomorrow morning. ACB 80, Albert Tumanoff. Support other MMA guys. Let's get these guys paid. Make sure there's other options always out there for them. And I'm going to do Fight TV and Chill tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Pacific time.
This could be an interesting battle, especially if it gets to the ground. Kokova, submission expert, 8 of his submissions, 8 submission wins, 5 of them by rear naked chokes.
Man, great production value you get put on by ACB. And their fights are completely free on Fight.tv. And they know what they're doing with their product right now as they grow. Putting on so many events this year. Later, Frank. He has stopped putting FBI so I don't have to every time.
Ну что ж, свершилось. Алибага поддерживает историческую победу судейским решением.
If you ain't got nothing else to do in the morning, come fucking hang out with me. Why not, man? Why not? Anyways, peace out there, everybody. Tune in to Fukov Fridays with the MMA holes. Sunday, Fight Buddies with the MMA holes. And right now, if you want, I believe Ted Check should be going live. So, I'll call you guys ACB 80 tomorrow morning. Fight.tv and Chill. I'll see y'all then. Peace out.